My name is Ekok Okpokam. I'm the manager of health, safety, security, and environment in Nigerian Petroleum Investment Management Services. It's a corporate strategic business unit of NNPC. My background originally is geology and exploration, but later I got promoted and made to head the health, safety, and environment department. So that's it.
I'm going to ask, Nigeria has the largest startup ecosystem in Africa, yet 80% of these small businesses fail within 3 years of commencement. So what do you think small businesses, SMEs in Africa, are not doing right, leading to their short lifespan?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I've worked in NNPC. This is my 29th year in NNPC, and I've interacted with a lot of companies, and I've done contracting and supervised major projects and works. To come to your question, the reason why small businesses do not strive after start-off and fail within 3 years of their existence are many. Number one, we have this, what we call bandwagon effect. When people start doing something, when somebody starts doing something and is succeeding, the other person will not study what the person is doing. They just want to copy and want to follow to do it without understanding the intricacies of what is about to do. And so when they now begin to see challenges that it does not anticipate, it crumbles. I've seen situation where people even try to mimic other people's business names so that they can sound like those people and be, and be like them. You want to be like somebody. It's better to do something you have passion for. So that when there's a challenge, you know that what you have passion, you stay on it until you can go through the challenges and go through the processes and begin to grow. So that's one. The other one is that the environment generally does not favor small businesses because the basic infrastructure that help you to strive are not in place. A small business pays so much cost in energy. Even if you are a vulcanizer, if you are a fashion designer, you are doing a small restaurant, you need to have your own standby generator to generate your own power to succeed. Otherwise, you will not be able to sustain the business. And the cost of buying fossil fuel is not going down, it's increasing. Even the subsidy that was there has been removed. So where you to spend so much money on generating power, sometimes you have to even provide your own water. And then what would be the profit margin? So we found that, and then the rent itself. Sometimes the landlord will ask you to pay 2 years in advance. Sometimes the rents are so high. Then even when the national grid is not supplying power, they still come to collect bills, estimated bills that are skyrocketing. So by the time you put all these costs together, and then we have what we call double taxation. The local government will come and collect tax. Everyone will come and collect tax. And so they double all those things. The environment is very hostile for small business.
Okay, we know the business climate can be challenging due to the absence of these basic needs, basic infrastructural needs that is needed actually to efficiently run a business. But what do you think small businesses can do to still thrive even in the midst of all this? What can we do to overcome all this challenge?
Yeah, small businesses can leverage on some provisions that government have provided if they know. Sometimes there are banks that have been giving money to give to small businesses because one of the problems is that even the source of initial capital that will sustain them is the problem. So if they can have access to the provisions that the government have made through some banks to leverage on capital that will help them survive. And then they should also think through the kind of businesses they want to do. Like I said earlier, you need to have a good business model that will help you to survive. And then you must also cut your costs. You start small and plan a growth trajectory. Yeah. You don't just want to become like the high person overnight. You grow your business and you start small. You don't take too much of initial costs that you do need. When you start small, sometimes when a small business, you may be the manager, may be everything, with one or two person helping you, call off people. You do need to have so much people in your employment when you know you are not established, and then you have to be paying salary when you don't have money to do so. So if you start small, sometimes you have to share office with somebody instead of going to take your own whole apartment that you'll be paying. You share a space, or you can even start a business in your own home where you don't pay extra costs. So you have to find a way to survive by cutting costs. When you do that, you'll be able to succeed and grow your business when you are passionately pursuing what you love to do.
Based on your experience in the oil sector as a manager, you have seen a lot of business deals. You've seen contracts, people sign contracts, people bid for contracts. What do you think are some of the factors that can cause a business to lose out on a major business deal?
Yeah, a lot of factors necessitate small businesses to lose out. Number one, even in the business environment in the oil sector, there are categories. You need to first of all register with Director of Petroleum, Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, to even do any business in the oil industry. And within the DPR categorization, we have those who register with 5,000, those who register with 25,000, and those who register with 250,000. Yes. So depending on the category where you belong, the kind of the size of your business, that is where you play. So you have your own level up where you play. Now, some people will register a business of 5,000 or 25,000, and they want to bid for a job of 200. They want that 250,000 category want to go. And there's a lot that is demanded. In the industry, we have what we call the bidding process. The bidding process starts with pre-qualification, technical evaluation, and commercial evaluation. In that, to even get categorized, now, to make life easy, they will have what we call the Nigerian Petroleum Exchange. The Nigerian Petroleum Exchange the acronym is NIPEX. The reason for NIPEX was to have a one-shop point for vendors to interact with clients, so that you do only one time pre-qualification by the Joint Pre-Qualification Team, JQS. When you have been registered in that system, automatically all the jobs within the categories of work you can do will automatically come to your email. So you don't need to go from office to office to look for jobs. So immediately you do those registration, any opportunity that is advertised, you see that as you open your system, you just see it and you can respond to it. So that has helped cut a lot of costs. But like I said, some people who want and begin to compete at the level they don't have. So when you are doing the technical evaluation, the requirements that are needed to do that job, you don't have. So you fail. You will not be able to cross to even submit your commercial. So you need to play within the level where you belong. If you do that, but again, you can also partner. Nigerian tendency, everybody wants to be stand alone. If you partner with people, there's synergy. We allow partnership. You can have an MOU, memorandum of understanding with another company that have what you don't have, so they can join your resources together to bid for a job. If you do this, you'll succeed.
Wow, that's amazing. So we're still going. There's this question here which I had to think about. I think a lot of people out there, they're still thinking about it, and I think I should ask. There are a lot of technological innovations around the world right now, and like electric cars, and a lot of tools now that are being powered by solar energy. So it looks like those gadgets that were once powered by petroleum products are now having better alternatives, in quotes. So do you still think the oil sector is still an area full of business opportunities for any business, whether small or big? If you think so, how can a small business harness those opportunities, if they are?
Well, you are rightly pointed out the fact that the world is looking towards green energy for very obvious reasons, due to climate change, carbon emission, and all the hazards that go with it. And those who are planning ahead have already given deadlines when they will phase out cars that use petrol and diesel and be running on electric cars completely. So green energy has come to stay. Is the energy of the future. And the question is, how are we in Nigeria trying to plan for the future before it comes on us suddenly? It's true that people are generating power, even for businesses and homes, through solar energy, wind energy, and other sorts of green energy. But is there still, to come to your question, is there still business in the oil sector when these things are happening? Well, we are in a period of transition. And when you are transiting, there is an hybrid. Even when in this house, I have green energy. I have 24 solar panels.
Wow.
That generate enough power to last for at least, no matter how bad the weather is, for 8 hours. But I still have my standby generator, I still buy diesel, and I still have the national grid. As we speak, we are running on the national grid. The national grid switch off, I can switch to solar energy, or I can switch to generator to ensure that I have power anytime I want it. But for oil industry, business will continue to strive you can't phase out fossil fuel overnight. It will take some time before all this technology are perfected. Even as those who are implementing green energy in Nigeria still have issues with how to perfect it and the design, the models. So while we are transiting to green energy, there still be business in the oil sector until the green energy comes to become powerful enough to take over. But it's not going to be in the near future.
Okay.
Yes.
So you still believe that there are a lot of opportunities that small business can take advantage of?
Yes.
Okay. And we still have our guest in the house, Mr. Ekok Okpokam, who has been sharing with us some valuable insights on how small and medium-scale enterprises can succeed in Africa. Okay, now, our final question for today is this. Now, what are the major things a business should consider? I know you've said something about it in one of the questions, but let's just list it out. So, major things a business should consider before submitting a bid for a business contract, especially from an organization like NNPC.
Yeah, I think you should consider very seriously before submitting a bid, because there's always an advert.
Okay.
For every business that is demanded or requested by NNPC or any oil company that NNPC partner with, there's always an advertisement on the daily papers and also on the NAPEX portal.
Okay.
So you need to study the advert very critically and meet all the requirements that are demanded in that advertisement before you submit a bid. Because your bid is going to be evaluated with the standard evaluation criteria that have been proposed by the operator of that business and approved by NNPC management. And there will be a team that will set up to read through every bit of what is submitted and score it. And so, and the pass mark is a minimum of 60%.
Okay.
So if you submit everything according to how is requested in the advert and the technical criteria that is sent to you or the commercial bid sent to you. Commercial is the price, but the non-commercial is the technical. You must respond to every of those requirements and ensure you get the maximum scores. Otherwise, you will fail. I will not be able to even be asked to submit a commercial bid because technically you are not qualified. So you need to. There are two requirements that make. There are other things that you need to meet. There are, in that evaluation, we have what we call fatal flaws. And basically, you need to have your CSC registration as a business. You need to also be registered with the Department of Petroleum Resources, that is DPR. You need to have your tax clearance. So if you don't pay tax, you can't come to do business. So those are what we call fatal flaws. If you don't have any of and then DPR will issue you a certificate. You know, you need to also be alive in NIPEX. Because NIPEX registration is also renewed every year. So if you are not live in NIPEX, you can't respond. You say if you respond, nobody listens to you. You can't even respond. So these things you must do so that you can score a minimum of 60%, and you can now be invited to give a commercial bid. In commercial, is the lowest bidder that we seek for, because everybody is not technically qualified and capable of judged to be capable of doing the job. So the thing now we want to have a competitive price. So anybody that gives a more competitive price, you do need to underbid. If you underbid, there's also a cutoff. Where your bid is not responsive, it can still be thrown out. But a bid should be responsive but not over expensive. So within that range, if you do well, you can win the contract. Thank you very much for inviting me to participate in this. It's my pleasure, and you are welcome anytime. Thank you.